Hey friends, we are doing a super fun art project today because we're learning all about, you guessed it, birds. So you guys are going to get to make a super fun kindergarten bird today. If you did another art project, you might have seen Miss Kenyon doing a directed drawing of a robin. That was a little more of a scientific drawing. This one's going to be fun kindergarten birds where we're going to make some fun shapes and you can decide what kind of feathers and what kind of beak you want to make your bird have. So I'm going to show you a few different choices as we're doing it. All you need is a pencil, an eraser, and a blank piece of paper. So if you look here on this one that's already completed, well, almost completed because I didn't finish coloring it, I used some feathers on the head and some tail feathers that were a little curvy or bumpy. And on another example here, I have some feathers that are a little more pointy. And then on this last example here that I'm going to show you, I have one that doesn't have any feathers at all on the head or any really pointy ones, and then has one tail feather that looks like that. So you can see that there's all kinds of different choices. These aren't even all of them, but these are just a few different ones you could decide to do as you're doing your project. So you're going to start with your paper. We put one in your packet this week, but if you can't find that one, it doesn't matter. Just use any blank piece of paper. And to get started, I'm going to start with just my bird's back. So I'm going to start it towards the top of my paper, but I want to leave some room up at the top for my bird's head, and I want to leave some room on the sides for my bird's beak and for their tail. So I'm going to start right here, leaving enough space over on that side, and I'm going to do a straight line across and stop over here so I have room for my tail feathers. Now I'm going to make my bird's body just by connecting this dot or this line to the end of the line on this side. So I'm sort of going to make a little bit of a smiley face, curve down and back up again. And now I can make my bird's legs, and then we're going to add the other parts. That'll involve a little bit of erasing. So I'm going to add two little straight lines down for one leg, and then I can add my feet. You could add webbed feet if you're going to have a bird that's swimming, or you can just add some sort of claws or talons on your bird. I'm just going to draw three little rectangles for my bird's feet, and then I'm going to draw another long rectangle down and three little rectangles for the little toes there. So there's my bird's feet. Now I'm going to do my bird head. You can do it on either side, totally up to you. I'm going to start on the inside here, curve out and around and back to touch my body. Well, now I don't want to see that part there, so the inside part of my circle, I'm just going to erase a little bit, and now you can just see my bird's head. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my tail. And when I do my tail, I can decide what kind of tail do I want. Do I want it to be sort of fluffy or pointy? I think I'm going to do mine a little pointy. So you can decide what kind of tail feathers you want to have, and then I'm going to erase that part of my bird's body. Now that that's all finished, now I'm going to add the details onto my head. So I could leave it blank, or I could add some fun feathers just like my tail. And now I'm going to add my bird's eye. I'm going to do a circle, and then I'm going to do a dark spot in the center part for the eyeball. And now the last part is the beak. You can decide, what does your bird eat? Make the beak that's right for your bird. So I'm going to do a triangle out, and then I'm going to do a straight line across through the middle to show the top and the bottom part. So now here's the super fun part. You can get out your crayons or pastels, whatever you've got. You can trace over your bird, but you could also add some super fun shapes onto the inside. So on some of these other birds I saw, I showed you earlier, I did some that had all kinds of shapes, and other birds, I used only one kind of shape. So it's really up to you what kind of shapes you put on your bird. I might do some triangles, some circles, even a rectangle, and a square. You could fill your bird with all kinds of shapes. I might fill mine out a little bit more too, but you don't have to watch me do that. The next step you guys could do once you have all the shapes that you want is you're going to get out a dark crayon. I like to use black because it'll really help those my lines to pop off the page. I'm going to trace over all my pencil lines I'm not going to actually show you me tracing over every single pencil line because that would be quite a process, and I think you would know what that looks like. But once you think you're done tracing all of your pencil lines, I want you to look at it really closely and make sure you have all the details too, because often people will finish and they forget the eye or maybe forget the shapes on the inside. So make sure you trace all of your lines with your black crayon. And then when you're done, you could go back with crayons or colored pencils or markers, whatever tools you have at home. If you have watercolors, you could use that. You could paint the rest of your bird and make it look super colorful like these other kindergarten birds. So you could color in the shapes and you could make the background of the bird a different color. You can make your shapes different colors. You can make them the same color. You could add feathers that are different colors. Make them super fun and vibrant, just like you. So I hope you have a lot of fun making your shape bird. Can't wait to see them.